Welcome everybody. Today we're going to be talking about the women's suffrage movement, and we're going to start around post-Civil War, and we're going to take it all the way to 1920 with the passage of the 19th Amendment. We're also going to be taking a look at the effects that the passage of this amendment had on America in the years that followed. Let's start off by defining women's suffrage. Even though suffrage sounds like suffer, it means anything but. Suffrage means the right to vote. So women's suffrage means women's right to vote. Here's a fact worth knowing. In the British colonies before 1776, women were allowed to vote. It was not until after independence and around 1787 that that right was taken away when the states wrote their constitutions. In 1848, Susan B. Anthony and Elizabeth Cady Stanton held a meeting in Seneca Falls, New York, to talk about women's issues, women's rights, and to demand that Congress recognize them. After the meeting, the women gained many supporters for their cause. However, the United States was focused on other issues. Slavery and states' rights was about to push the United States into a civil war. Women, for now, had to wait. Around the mid-1800s, people started to speak out against slavery. This movement was called the abolitionist movement. Many abolitionists were women. Abolition means to abolish or to end slavery. Many women of the abolitionist movement fought hard to free the slaves. They fought hard because they themselves felt like slaves in their own household. During this time, women didn't have many rights. When the Civil War was over and the slaves were set free, women were once again focusing their energy on women's rights. Voting is extremely important in a democracy. It gives us representation, power, and recognition. All of these things men had, but women did not. Women were second-class citizens. Many people believe that the 19th Amendment gave women the right to vote. It did. But actually, women were allowed to vote in some states before the passage of the 19th Amendment. Most of these states were located in the West. The states that did not allow women to vote were mainly in the South. Here's another fact worth knowing. Many suffragists were arrested for trying to vote during presidential elections. Their goal was actually to be arrested so they can sue the government. They wanted to hear their case in front of the Supreme Court, hoping that the Supreme Court would grant women the right to vote. Sadly, in these cases, the Supreme Court judges did not find in favor of universal suffrage. Women then had to refocus their efforts, and now their goal was to change or to amend the actual Constitution.